Am I on right now? Am I live? Hello, everyone. Can you guys hear me? I don't know why I feel like I should be able to hear myself, but hey, Claire. Okay, so you guys can hear me. Good. Okay. I don't know what it is, but for some reason, like the house is like completely silent right now. Hey, Beauty Speaks. Hey, Etsy Seller Mastermind, Yorkie, Glam High Life. I'm trying to read this. Paper Hearts of Gold, Cicero Beauty, His Life Captivates. Awesome. Hey guys. Sorry, my house is like right now, like dead silent. And I don't know what it was. As soon as I started talking, I was like, shouldn't I be hearing something? Because usually when I'm on Periscope, I am watching someone else's. So it's weird in here. Anne is freezing. Hey, Tazi, Satellite Beams, Yorkie, CTA Forever, Mandy Jean, hello. Look at Mandy Jean, you're teal, you're the aqua now, and I was aqua on your scope. Isn't that cool? Okay, you guys, so I just jumped on literally for just a few minutes. But before we begin, and if you guys can see what the topic is, I'm sorry if these things are shaking. We're on my desk and it's a little shaky if I lean on it. Hello, Melinda, Al, and Veronica Foley. How are you? If you guys saw my Instagram this morning, I have, oh, hey, Joanne, how are you? I posted a picture that I had picked up my Starbucks this Saturday morning, and not all of them, but a bunch of, well, all my favorite magazines, their September issues, okay? So you guys may have seen, hold on, there's more, there's one more, Vanity Fair. Oh, I'm shaking a little bit, sorry, you guys. I picked up all these September issues for myself today. And someone had said in the comments of Instagram, hello, Lisa. Hi from Virginia. I used to live in Virginia. That's where I went to college. Someone had asked me to show my favorite looks from the magazines. So, and then it dawned on me that I should probably explain to people why I buy these magazines, because as you guys know, I'm not a fashionista. I'm not a beauty guru. Hi Glam, High Life, you love September issues. You guys, leave me a comment down below if you guys love September issues and you buy them too. I'm going to tell you what I do with them though, which is maybe a little bit different than what most people would be doing with their September issues. So leave me a comment down below. Let me know how you guys use yours. While we're also waiting, I'd love it if you guys would we will talk about that, His Life Captivates. I'll tell you why. Swipe left and share this if you guys can to Twitter. Share it to your followers. Let's get some people on here. We got 45 people. This is doing awesome. So I guess Saturday afternoon is the time to be on. So Tazi, I'm going to be talking about this, girlfriend. So you and I are on the same wavelength with this. So what the big deal is, first of all, I happen to be someone who loves magazines. I love the print medium. I have been obsessed with magazines for a very long time. I think they're gorgeous. You guys know, if you've ever been to my blog, my site is very editorial. When I lay out my workbooks for empire building, and even for this new thing, I guess I should give you guys a sneak peek of what's going to be launched on Monday that you guys are going to be really excited about. But my style is highly editorial. I really love that magazine editorial look. So I always am buying magazines, and I have a few favorites that I do like to buy reoccurring, like Harper's Bazaar. I love. I'm loving this magazine that I just recently got into called Porter. It's run by Net-a-Porter, which is a big fashion online retailer. And like I said, not into fashion, but I'm loving this magazine. And I like Vanity Fair. You know, generally speaking, I will buy a Vogue once a year, and it's for September. But I'm not a big fashionista, right? So absolutely, Tazi. This is where, you know where I'm going with this, girlfriend. Okay, so the reason why I like picking up September issues, if you're not familiar, if you're not in the US, because maybe this is a US thing, that it's maybe a little bit more geared to US, but the September issues, September starts the official fashion calendar. I think it's like New Year's in the fashion world, because fall fashion is like the holy grail for the fashion industry. And I live very close to New York, so this is all like, this time of year for fashion is very, very big. Now, like I said, I'm not a fashionista, but being someone who is highly influenced by magazines, I love seeing what is inside the September issues, not for the fashion, not for the makeup, sometimes not even for the writing. But what I seriously look in these magazines for, like Tazia just mentioned, design, layout. I'll see trends that are kind of happening in the world, beautiful photography. All this stuff is what I go to these magazines for. And because I really feel like, as someone who is a blogger, it's my job. Even if I write about productivity, it is my job to stay on top of design and visual trends, right? So that's what I consider exactly an Etsy seller. You do the exact same. It is research, absolutely. Daler just said it's research. That is exactly how I take it when I do these magazines, when I go and get these magazines. It is research for me to see what the trends are, what the layouts are looking like, what they're doing stylistically, because out of all the magazines I'll ever see all year, all of these fashion magazines, they put their entire effort into this month. This month is going to have the best of the best. It's going to tell you what the trends are for the next year. And that is why I love going to get the September issues, because they really will help me dictate the way that I'm going to be writing and organizing my blog, and stylistic choices that I will make. And this is something that I've talked about, not before on a cheek scope. I just said cheek scope. That's Mandy Jeans. A charmed scope. Stationary Trends magazine. You recommend that? That's awesome. So basically, I am someone who really does believe that, I'm one person. I'm one person who runs my business. I have no help. I don't have a creative director. I'm the creative director. I don't have an editor. I'm the editor. I don't have a photographer. I'm the photographer. I'm everything for my business. So in order to give me a leg up, I tend to like to look around and see what's going on. I like to make it easy for myself. And there are certain places where I will go and I will look for inspiration. I love seeing what Oprah's doing. I know that sounds a little crazy. Oprah. Even though, again, she does more lifestyle. Same thing with Martha Stewart. She does more lifestyle and more decor and things like that. I'm not going for inspiration on what I'm writing about. I'm going to see what the trends are in new media, because big names like Oprah and Martha Stewart, and big names like Vogue and Harper's Bazaar and Vanity Fair, these companies are $1 million, $billion businesses who have people who are tracking the trends so that they know what to put in their magazines and what they need to put up on their websites. So this is me pushing the easy button for my business and just spending a little bit of time working on where I see the direction of my site going and what the new media trends are for my site. So that is what I do with these magazines. So now I'm going to tell you the exact thing that I do. New Seasons Pantone swatches is another help. That's another great one. Luckily for me, because I don't really do heavily design, I mean, I've got my color stuff, pretty much regulated with my, teal, that's about it. My turquoise, and black and white and gray seem to be the colors that I stick with. But, even while I was going through these magazines, I did see a lot of examples, of trends that I might want to even take for, yes, I do use Polyvore, like very, very infrequently. I used to use it a lot when I was a few years ago with my blogging, but now I'm very much, I kind of do my own design stuff, but I do look at Polyvore every once in a while. Does the September issue apply to Martha Stewart and Oprah as well? Absolutely. Remember, the September really is, it's mostly big in fashion, but I think that because fashion drives a lot of the magazine industry, I think that everyone's September issue, this concept of the September issue, is really big to a lot of brands. And I would say that Martha Stewart and Oprah definitely are following that as well. Their September issues are probably going to be some of the best issues that they're going to put out all year. So I want to tell you guys what I do with this. So the first thing that I do is I take all of these magazines and I start flipping through, and I've got my yellow Post-its out. And what I do is, and I've already done this, and so I can't really show you in progress, but I will take my yellow Post-its, I will go through, I will flip through this magazine, and I will look and find everything in this magazine that I feel like is inspiring me, is a trend I want to take for my blog. Layouts, I love looking at the way magazine editors and are laying things out creatively online. Even though I've got my blog and my layout is pretty much set, it still can help me to develop graphics for my blog. And I actually found a bunch of great examples of some really great Pinterest style graphics that I'd like to put together. And yes, absolutely, headlines are also a beautiful thing to look for, to see. I like the way that, different magazines tend to use, use wording and plays on words and things like that. And that's probably a big influence on me as well, as magazine headlines, absolutely. So the first thing I do is I go through this magazine and I mark off all the pages that I like, okay? And usually they're not really fashion-y, even though these are fashion magazines. Next thing I do is I pull out this, my X-Acto knife thingy. And what I will do is I will go through the magazine, okay? And you guys aren't really gonna be able to see this, I don't think. What I'll do is, let's say I found a page that I want to take, I will cut it out with my X-Acto. I just pull the page up out of my magazine. And of course I've already done this. I'm doing this after the fact. But I will hold the page up and I will take my slicey guy and I will slice into the binding and pull the page out, okay? Because I want to save these pages. I don't need this 50-pound magazine with Beyonce on the cover, although she does look beautiful. I don't need to keep this around, any longer. But the pages that I've taken from the magazines, those are the things that I want to kind of keep and almost make, not to say that I make a vision board out of it, because you certainly could do that, but I cut out all the different pages that I liked. So you've been doing this since you were young. Yes, absolutely. And this is nothing of a new topic. People have been ripping pages out of magazines for forever. But I just want you to think creatively is the point of this, that, there's different layouts, different things that you can, different inspiration that you can find from magazines that are actually really helpful. Like, let's look at this spread. You guys, this spread has my name all over it, right? Like, how gorgeous is that? This came from Vanity Fair. I loved this layout. That was actually an ad. I think this was in Vogue. And they're just kind of, it's an advertisement for this lip color. But they're just kind of giving you this, get the look. So it's like a picture of the model with a little blurb, the actual product, and then the directions on how to actually achieve the look. I love things like this. Oh, I literally pulled this out for my own inspiration. This is Valentino. I pulled this out of Vogue. Valentino gets me. How amazing is this? Valentino gets me. Isn't that gorge? Oh, I want this dress. So here's a good example of some things that I'm going to be using as inspiration for layouts for Pinterest, right? So on this page, doesn't matter what they were really talking about. They're talking about some beauty stuff. They have a subdivision of this page that I could turn into, erase the fact that it's beauty stuff. This layout, this rectangular layout, would be perfect for Pinterest. So if I want to feature a bunch of interesting, I don't know, apps or books or literally anything, I could line them up like this. I like the way that it looks visually with the words and maybe like a little blurb about it. So same thing over here. I loved this one. I liked this whole page, actually. This was really pretty. And where did this come out of? Oh, this was Porter. Porter is does a beautiful job on these layouts. So here's another really long, thin layout here where they've got, it says romantic day dressing. It's basically 5 tips for romantic day dressing. So they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a couple of little examples down here. Love this. This is a great inspiration for me for Pinterest. This one I found in Net-a-Porter as well. It was actually a 2-page spread, but I just took one side. If you guys ever been to my blog, you guys know that I very frequently use like stock images of iPads, iPhones, things like that to illustrate digital items that I'm showcasing. So I loved this layout. Had a big iPad and then they're basically, this ad was basically to show you how you can access the magazine online. And like, well, the Porter magazine, which is really cool, is they have this ability that if you if you pull up, I guess, in their app and you skim their pages, it actually can identify what page you're on, and it can give you bonus features. So there's different pages like that. But I loved the way that this was kind of like beautiful, like image inside of an iPad, and then some additional steps for, you know, how to do things. So I could show people how to run an app, a productivity app, or something on a website. I could do something like this. So yeah, and it's not necessarily the dark background that I'm loving in this. I'm loving the concept of the big iPhone with the iPad, with the little iPads kind of showing secondary screens, right? I buy all of my magazines at Barnes & Noble. So this is Barnes & Noble has Porter, but I really like Porter. I'm actually thinking about getting a subscription to it so I don't have to go pick it up. Another thing that I love, okay, so I love horoscopes. I saw this horoscope. This was inside of Bazaar, Harper's Bazaar. I loved the way that they made this kind of like a circle. It almost looks like the zodiac, like the horoscope circle, and then it had like the circular brooch inside. You know, again, I'm not going to be showing a picture of a circular brooch, but I loved the way they did this layout. Plus I love horoscopes, so I wanted to save this page. A couple more layouts that I just thought were really beautiful. You know, just even some things that have some trend stuff in it. See, like just extra things peeking out. Of course, anything that's black and white, I sliced it open. Oh, this was beautiful. I loved this one. Another circular layout. There was a lot of circular layouts that I actually saw that were beautiful. Loved this. You know, we don't have to go through all of these things. Oh, I got to show you these two. I'm going to show you these two. Okay, these are the last ones I'm going to show you. In Bazaar. I love the way they had an object, right? Look, so this is a shoe with just like some sort of embellished heel. And then this was actually their table of contents, but they have it aligned with the shoe, right? I think that this looks beautiful. It's literally cut out around the shoe, their topics or whatever. And then there's another one I saw. I loved this beautiful like statement necklace. Again, do you see how they've created shapes around the object? Love that. Like, I love it. Love it. So this is what I want to show you guys today. This is how I use my September issues, magazines, things like that. I just, you know, I'm not someone who's big into fashion, to be honest. You guys look, white t-shirt, barely, I haven't even done my hair. I throw on some makeup so I didn't look like, you know, I don't know, some vampire ghost or something. But, you know, I love seeing what the trends are and what they're doing with layouts and the way they're playing with things. And, you know, like I said, September time is the best of the best, is what comes out in the magazine industry. So I just really wanted to share that with you guys. See my Michael here leaving me some comments. Yeah, typography, classic shape typography, yes. Objects instead of pop letters, absolutely. So these are a lot of trends, absolutely, that we are seeing in magazines, in editorial, and I'm going to be pulling some of these into my blog. So don't be surprised if you see me do a layout on a blog post with some apps that looks similar to that. Don't be surprised if you see me taking an object, right, and creating words around it. I think I just think that it's so clever. I think this is a great tip, and I hope that you guys got some inspiration from seeing this. So thank you so mushe Mandy. She says brilliant tips. Do you guys think I should put this on YouTube? You think I should throw this onto YouTube? I don't know. I haven't done a YouTube video in a while. I'm actually kind of taking in like an unofficial sabbatical for a little bit. Because I've got some things coming up. And speaking of that, things that I guess I should tell you guys that I've got coming up. Number one, I've got tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern time, I'm going to be over on Mandy Jean's YouTube channel. It's probably called Mandy Jean Chic. Okay, if Mandy Jean, you want to type in your URL for youtube.com/your Mandy Jean Chic. I'm going to be 6 o'clock. We're doing a live chat, a live chic scope for Mandy Jean's 31 Days of YouTube. And we're going to be talking about the topic community building. Okay, so it's going to be an awesome time. We're going to be talking about community building. And on Monday, I am basically announcing a very special photo challenge that I'm going to be hosting for September. And it's going to be called Charmed DSLR, okay? And it is basically a 30-day challenge that is intended to help bloggers, business owners, and social media mavens help them one-up their photography skills. And to go along with this photo challenge, I also have a free mini course that I'm putting together. Okay, so there's going to be a free photography mini course that you can sign up for on Monday, right? So you guys can sign up, I've got a whole course book I've put together, like a mini course book, so that you guys can follow along with the photo challenge and learn some extra tips and tricks and really put them into practice through this Instagram challenge. So this is going to be really exciting. So I think you guys are really going to love this, because I know a lot of people are super inspired by my Instagram feed. And I'm someone who really believes that, you know, having the ability to take great photography for yourself and for your brand is essential, right? It's essential. So I'm hopefully going to be able to, you know, teach you guys a thing or two that maybe you didn't know, or some concepts about photography that you've never been exposed to before or thought about while you're taking photos. So I think it's going to be a really great time. September is going to be an amazing month because it starts fall, which is my favorite. So, yeah, so that is basically all the news you can use right now. So I will, I don't want to take up any more of you guys' time on this beautiful Saturday, or potentially Sunday if you're in Australia. I'm very conscious of that now, that whatever day I'm in, someone else is in a different day. So thank you guys so much. Let's do another round of applause with some hearts to like send me off in style. If you guys loved the topic of this, please make sure to share it, you know, share the replay of this. And I'm going to go ahead and I think I will go ahead and upload this to YouTube as well. So the people on YouTube, the folks on YouTube after this is gone, can enjoy this excellent tip. So I hope you guys have a wonderful Saturday or Sunday. And I will talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.